All right, good morning, everybody. Here is our lesson for 5-4 today. It's reasoning. Remember, those reasoning lessons are always a little bit more challenging, so it's okay. We're going to get through it.
What do you see? There are cars and trucks. Tucker and Olivia counted 6 cars and 5 vehicles that are not cars. How can you check if their answers make sense? You can classify the vehicles into cars and not cars, like Tucker and Olivia. You can count the number in each category. Tucker drew an arrow to show the greater number. Which number did Tucker say is greater? He says 6 is greater. Which category does Tucker say is greater in number? Cars. Olivia drew a circle to show which number is less. Which number does Olivia say is less?
Okay, so this is again that the importance of understanding the language, greater than, less than, and also understanding how numbers qualify or go into those two categories. So she circled the lesser number, 5. So you'd want to ask kids, is 5 less than 6? And we would also want to make sure that they could explain why. You could say something like 5 comes first on the number line. When you draw 5 objects, 5 is less, something like that.
She says 5 is less. Which category does Olivia say is less in number? Not cars. Who is correct? Both Olivia and Tucker are correct. How can you use these numbers to explain why Tucker is correct?
Okay, so it's asking the students to use the number line here to explain.
6 is after 5 in the counting sequence. So 6 is greater than 5. Tucker is correct. How can you use these numbers to explain why Olivia is correct?
Okay, same kind of thing. They need to use the number line to be able to describe why 5 is less than 6.
5 is before 6 in the counting sequence. So 5 is less than 6. Olivia is correct.
All right, so then we go into our lesson for today. So again, we're going to be using a lot of language like greater and less than today. So for today's solve and share, Carlos says that the number of blue cubes is equal to the number of cubes that are not blue. Does his answer make sense? So we need to first ask kiddos what equal means. They should know that equal means the same. So is Carlos correct when he says the blue cubes are equal to the not blue cubes? So here kiddos can do this in a couple of different ways. They can make their own chart here, and they could do blue cubes on this side, and then ones that are not blue on this side. And then once they're making their little chart, they can categorize by doing tally marks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So here they've got 10. We would write that number. How do you make a 10, a 1, and a 0? And now we're going to count everything that's not blue. So here they could use a different color to make their tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we're going to make a 9, a loop, and a line. That's how we make our 9. Okay, so now we need to know, are 10 and 9 equal? So students should know that 10 and 9 are not equal. So Carlos is not correct. So we want them to be able to explain that. Why is he not correct? Well, 10 comes after 9. 10 is more than 9. They are not the same. However, they want to use that language. Okay, so then for our next piece, again, remember solve or this green boxes are from the video. You can talk about that with your kiddo to make sure they really understand. This is an example problem down here. Gabby says that the category of airplanes is greater in number than the category that is not airplanes. Does her answer make sense? Have students draw a circle around yes or no, and then use the sorting and counting of each category to explain the reasoning. So the same exact thing that we just did here. So first thing that they're going to want to do is count the planes and make sure that there's 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I got them all. So this number is correct. And then we're going to count the ones that are not planes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, looks like that is correct there. Gabby says that the category of airplanes is greater. Is 5 greater than 6? Is 5 more than 6? We want kiddos to understand that 5 is not greater, so she got that wrong. So that's why we circle no here. 6 is actually greater. Okay? All right. So for this next problem, again, remember all the instructions are down here on the bottom. For number 1, students are going to listen to the problem, circle yes or no, and then use the sorting and counting of each category to explain their reasoning. Damon says that he counted 8 yellow train cars and 6 train cars that are not yellow. Does his answer make sense? Okay. So did he count 8 yellow cars correctly and 6 that are not yellow? So again, we can go through and mark those off with tally marks. You guys can have them use a color. So for the yellow cars first, we'll go through and make sure there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So I counted only 6 there. So 6 yellow cars is not 8. So underneath here, just to make sure kiddos are paying attention, they could write the real number of yellow cars. So that way, right away, they know they have to circle no. His answer does not make sense. We can go ahead and finish the problem by counting the non-yellow cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so over here, the ones that are not yellow is 8. Okay, so we know that he did not do that problem correctly. For number 3, Melinda says that the category of a yellow train car is less than the category of train cars that are not yellow. So the category of train cars being yellow need to be less. So again, that language is probably going to be a little confusing for some of the kids. Make sure they understand yellow car has to be less. Okay, so we want them really understanding that concept of that language and what it's applying to in this problem. So the yellow cars need to be less. So she said that there are 6 yellow cars and there are 8 that are not yellow. Is 6 less than 8? Well, our students should be able to understand yes, 6 is less than 8. It comes earlier on the number line. If we made those objects, we would see less cars there. Okay, number 4. Aaron says that the category of red train cars is greater than the category of train cars that are not red. Okay, does his answer make sense? Okay, so again, we need to be able to know what we're looking for here. So the red cars right here need to be greater. I'm just going to put a G for greater, greater. So this number should be greater than this. Okay, what is 8 greater than 6? Okay, again, they need to be able to know that on the number line, 8 comes after 6. So yes, 8 is greater. Again, if they drew those cars out, we would know that they're more than the yellow. Okay, so he got that thinking correct. Yes. Okay. So here's our independent practice. I'm not going to go through and do this part for them. Oh, actually, it's our performance assessment. That's because tomorrow we have our first test. So you're going to go ahead and read this out loud to them, and then they will go through and let me see if we have. This is just some extra homework. So if they struggled with this more and less concept, make sure that they do this extra homework to get a little bit more practice in, because tomorrow is our assessment for data, Unit 5. Okay? If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you.